Carving this double tea light holder in a repeating pattern that I've called Squoji is what I'll show you how to do in today's lesson. Stay tuned. Prepare your basswood by sanding through at least 220 grit. Then you're ready to apply the pattern using the pattern transfer tool. Your pattern has to be printed on either a laser printer or a photocopy machine. I'm using the My Chip Carving Platinum Modified Knife for this entire carving. Start your cuts on the curvy lines that outline each of the repeating sections. Watch the depth of my knife. As the chip gets wider, the point of the knife has to go deeper. Here's the deepest part on this big chip on the end of each of the repeating patterns. After having cut on both sides of the curved lines, here's how you'll proceed. You'll make this small cut, followed by this small cut. Standard grip for the first section. Flip your knife over for the other side. And that chip will come out because it comes out with the grain. Now you have a starting point for your knife. Put it on the very bottom of that chip and go down for your depth and draw it out in the center. Roll your knife over and make the same cut on the other side. The reason we don't extend these small cuts all the way across the chip is because it would score the background and you'd have a cut line after removing the larger chip in this section of the pattern. On the end section of the pattern, think of it as a large three-cornered chip, with a dot showing you the deepest portion. The final two cuts need to be made with the grain. Roll your knife over to make the first cut and watch the handle. The handle rocks back so the point of the knife reaches the bottom of the chip. Same thing on the other side. Watch the handle now. It rocks up to reach the deepest portion. To make each of these two cuts with the grain, the point of your knife has to start in the center of the pattern. After you've practiced this technique on a few of the sections of the repeating pattern, go ahead and make the same cuts over and over throughout one side of your carving. That way, you'll be repeating the same chip over and over. That makes consistent carving as well as very efficient carving. After removing the leftover pattern lines with a Tombow sand eraser, I applied 1 coat of universal sanding sealer, followed by 3 coats of spray satin lacquer. And just like that, you've carved the Squoji pattern on a double tea light holder. Thanks for joining me for this lesson. Remember, introduce a kid to chip carving.